last week on the podcast, I went in on Ellen DeGeneres. And I want to see this video. This is the top 10 worst things Ellen DeGeneres has done by Watch Mojo. I love top 10 lists. I'm a sucker for top 10 lists. And I'm not going to apologize to anybody.
She may be popular and beloved by many, but Ellen DeGeneres can be quite the controversial figure. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Ellen was the worst. For this list, we'll be looking at various times in which Ellen DeGeneres displayed unsavory behavior. This can—
Dude, if I had a friend who constantly was scaring me, I would hate that. I do not like that. Like, Ellen seems to always do that, where she's just scaring people. Ellen is basically a walking Saw game, where if you're on her show or a friend of hers, you can be thrown into a mini game that's just scaring you or torturing you at any given moment.
Unsavory behavior. This can come in the form of controversial moments on her show or allegations that were made against her in the media. Number 10. Forgetting Katy Perry was married. Ellen has had a few problematic run-ins with poor Katy Perry. One came in October 2017 when Ellen referenced Katy's breasts on Twitter while wishing her a happy birthday. The post was immediately labeled as sexist, and some people saw it as a double standard within the industry, especially amidst the Me Too movement that was occurring at the time.
It is a double standard. It is a double standard. It 100% should have been skewered. 100%. That is very good. I'm glad that happened, because everyone should be held accountable for this kind of stuff. Katy Perry should not be whatever sexualized or forced. Like, just because it's Ellen DeGeneres, if Brad Pitt does this, it's like, man, what the hell, Brad Pitt? It's kind of creepy. So good.
When Ellen time, another instance occurred on Ellen's show when she told Katy Perry directly to her face that she was never married.
You're not married.
I was when I was 25.
Katy was forced to awkwardly remind her about Russell Brand, which probably wasn't easy considering she battled depression after the divorce.
His name was Russell Brand.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Russell. Yeah.
To make
What a friend. What a good friend.
matters worse, Katy had to remind Ellen that she gave her wedding gifts on the show.
Remember, you gave me some wedding gifts on this show.
Yes, I do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Number 9, making Kathy.
That's a tough scene. That is it's hard to defend that when a friend of yours who gave you a wedding gift doesn't even remember you were married. That is a good sign that that person doesn't give a shit about you.
Griffin Cry. There have long been rumors and allegations that Ellen—
Now, Kathy Griffin's a real wench. I mean, she's a real battle axe of her own. So Kathy Griffin's not exactly the, she's not exactly the nicest person in the universe. But,
is not nearly as friendly as her public persona suggests.
Woo.
In fact,
There's a lot
Kathy
happening
Griffin
right there.
referenced—
That's a lot happening around the eyes. Man, that's a lot. That's a lot to soak in. These are years and years of Ellen DeGeneres just stressing her out. This is every time Ellen DeGeneres made Kathy Griffin cry right here. This might be the whole top 10 list.
Guests. In fact, Kathy Griffin references this in her book, Kathy Griffin's Celebrity Run-Ins, My A to Z Index, saying that Ellen has, quote, a mean streak that all of Hollywood knows about.
I'm almost positive a certain beloved daytime talk show host once had me kicked out of the backstage dressing room at the Primetime Emmy Awards.
While Kathy doesn't explicitly mention Ellen's name, she accidentally revealed that the allegations were about Ellen while promoting the book.
She was furious.
What did she say? What did she say?
She just really was on a rant.
This caused Ellen to call her up and, as Kathy recalls, quote, I think she had a thought that she was going to put me in my place. The two proceeded to fight over the phone, and when Kathy eventually hung up, she sobbed like a baby. Her words, not ours. Let's move on.
I said, Ellen, this is my experience with you. I said, you've been mean to me. I'm not saying you're a mean person across the board, but you can't take my story. It's like my experience.
Number 8, calling out Nancy.
Could you imagine being a fly on the wall in that conversation where Ellen DeGeneres and Kathy Griffin are just screaming at each other? Ooh, man.
So before the show, I put out some Ellen products with a sign that said only one per person. And I just wanted to see how honest my audience was,
Maybe
This is something Ellen does all the time. I talked about this on the podcast. Ellen, this is a torture game. These people don't know. These people have no clue about what's going on. And I'm not saying that this person should not have taken an extra one, but you don't know. I mean, you don't know the situation. She may have, she may be getting one for her mother, maybe getting one for her child or her sister. Her sister may be a huge Ellen fan, and she couldn't make the trip or whatever. I mean, there's all kind of stuff. So, like this, I've never understood why Ellen does it. I don't understand, like, going to these shows, supporting these shows should be enough. You shouldn't have your fans or your viewers or whoever also have to take these like litmus tests to be a fan. And on live TV with millions of people watching, this is tough.
Today we present to you one of the most controversial bits in Ellen history. To test the honesty of her audience, Ellen and her team set up hidden cameras in the gift shop and placed them near a free swag table. The catch? You could only take one free item.
I mean, any of you could have taken more than one thing, and you didn't. Except for these ladies right here.
Well, good old Nancy took more than one item, so Ellen decided to call her out in front of everyone and on camera, and proceeded to make her sit in Ellen jail, which was a very high seat to the side of the stage.
You think nobody's watching you, and you just need to be a good person just because you want to be a good person. You go sit in that Ellen jail over there right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I get the idea that, oh, this is just fun and games, oh, whatever. But this is completely embarrassing this person who probably paid a lot of money to travel out here, come to the show. This is her. Like, think about how excited she was at first. Like, oh, I get to go on the Ellen show. And then, oh, wow, Ellen is skewering me, telling me I'm not a nice person, embarrassing me, showing all this in front of millions of people watching. And now I have to sit away from everybody in this chair and be even more embarrassed. For a bit.
The whole thing was most likely staged, but still, that just proves how fake and manufactured these hilarious skits really are. Number 7, annoying celebrities.
Wait, don't open these up in the store.
Why not?
There are times Ellen can be so annoying that even her guests can't hide their frustration. Every now and again, Ellen does some kind of remote segment where she takes celebrities out and does silly things with them in public. And inevitably some end in the guest telling Ellen how annoying she is.
I'll turn it off if you don't trust me.
I don't.
Just hold that.
Two great examples of this happening are Michelle Obama and Cher. When Ellen took Michelle...
I would hate this. I'm one of the people who would absolutely hate this. When I'm in public, like in a store or a restaurant or whatever, I'm being, and not to sound like I'm a saint or anything, but I'm being overly cautious to not like bother the workers, bother the staff, bother other people. If I was with somebody who's just like joking around, screwing around, throwing stuff, being loud, eating stuff in the middle of the store, all that, I'd be so uncomfortable the whole time. I would be dying to get out. Dying to get out. You know the videos of the people at like a Walmart who jump in the ball pit? That is like my death sentence, is to be with someone who jumps in the ball pit and causes a ruckus. That is my hell.
Michelle Obama shopping to prepare her for life outside the White House. It ended with Michelle telling Ellen that she's really annoying.
You know, you're really annoying. It's like taking a 3-year-old to the store.
Not everybody does everything for you anymore.
Well, obviously.
This right here, oh, I'm cringing. My skin is crawling thinking about this. You know, she's trying to help the manager. I know this is for like a bit, and she knows this for a bit. She's trying to help people. She's carrying bags. Ellen's jumping in the damn cart. I would not like this whatsoever.
This was hard. Oh.
Meanwhile, Cher's clip sees her and Ellen styling hair for some fans. And wouldn't you know it, it ends with Ellen making fun of Cher's lyrics and Cher calling Ellen a bitch.
Yeah, she knows me. They know me better.
Oh, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid. It's not the time or the place. Don't you have enough?
You.
You're such a bitch.
Number 6, not working.
Cher, if you don't know Cher past just her music, Cher is underratedly funny. If you go and watch the old Cher and Sonny TV show they had, the talk show kind of thing, the variety hour, Cher is really kind of incredible. You need to take a look at some of her old clips. Cher is much more than just a singer. Howard Stern, one of my favorite people. Howard Stern, another super underrated person, but probably the greatest interviewer in American history.
With Howard Stern. Remember when Ellen was a judge on American Idol?
One of the few people I think that can be honest with Simon about how he takes on the contestants.
Yes.
Is that your plan?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Back in 2010, Ellen and Howard Stern were embroiled in some drama when it was announced that Stern was potentially taking over for Simon Cowell. Ellen wasn't having any of that, and she allegedly claimed that she would leave the show if Stern was brought in.
But here's the thing. I was scared of you for years. I mean, years.
Howard reciprocated, telling Entertainment Tonight, quote, "I won't work with Ellen. She's out if I come in." He was a bit more candid on his radio show, saying, quote, "I'm not gonna sit there with her, that dummy." Luckily, they seem to have made up, and Ellen revealed on Stern's shows that being a judge on American Idol was, quote, "one of the worst decisions she'd ever made."
Claire, step forward, and then step back real quick.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine that's easy. You know, like for Ellen or even Howard or someone who has no musical background at all to judge a show like American Idol. That's a tough job.
You're all going through.
That was funny.
You sadist.
Number 5, Dakota Johnson's birthday party.
Why
We also went over this on the podcast this week.
didn't even
Available on iTunes and Spotify.
know you liked me?
Of course I like you. You knew I liked you. You've been on the show many times, and don't I show like?
If you're not going to show up to someone's birthday party, you better have a solid excuse. Ellen did not. This awkward interaction began when Ellen claimed that she wasn't invited to Dakota Johnson's birthday party.
How was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited.
Dakota, however, did invite Ellen. She just didn't show up.
Yeah.
But I did invite you and you didn't come. So,
This
Tough
time you
scenes.
invited me?
yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Ellen's crew vaguely responded that she was out of town, and Ellen answered in agreement by saying that she had that thing.
Why didn't I go?
I don't know.
Was it? Oh yeah, I had that thing.
These are all really good examples of celebrities. Like we kind of have this idea that these celebrities are all friends, or they're all cool with each other, or they're all. But you got to remember, they just don't give a shit at all. Like these are celebrities. These are the highest. These are the people on the highest rung of narcissism and the highest, most inflated egos. They aren't friends. They might have some friends, but Ellen doesn't care about Dakota Johnson or anybody. Like, and it's not just Ellen, but this is just the world of celebrity. You know, like these all we think, oh, Ellen got invited to the birthday party. Ellen probably went and had a fun time. She was probably giggly and goofy, and it was all laughs. LOL, probably not. Ellen's probably just insufferable and didn't want to go.
When Ellen remembered that she'd been invited, she said that Malibu was too far away. So to recap, she lied to Dakota by saying she wasn't invited. She didn't give Dakota an excuse for not showing up, only to claim that the party was too far away. Some friend.
No, I think I do remember I was invited. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, but I really didn't remember that until just now.
Number 4, she didn't support the writer's strike.
I'm Greg Daniels, the showrunner for The Office, and this is our second day of picketing in order to shut down our own show.
From November 2007 to February 2008, Hollywood went through the Writers Guild of America strike, centered on increasing funding and profits for professional film and television writers. Ellen was identified as the first scab of the strike, as she crossed the picket lines and went back to work after just one day of protesting alongside her writers.
Yeah, I mean, look, like, I mean, we're not gonna get into the whole writer strike thing, but it is a thing where I could see Ellen being like, "Look, I'm the star. It really doesn't matter who my writers are. You know, I can make magic happen with any writers." Whereas some shows, I think, probably realize, like, man, we have some really talented writers here. I think generally writers probably are treated poorly or need to be treated better, however you want to say it. But I'm not surprised at all that Ellen or some people would think that they are bigger than the writers, for sure.
On set, allegedly.
This is Raid Shadow Legends again. Raid! Don't you have enough? Oh, this is Magic the Gathering.
If any stock is to be found in anonymous insider sources, then Ellen really isn't a good person to work for. For one, you literally can't even speak to her. Radar Online has alleged that only a select few employees are allowed
I mean, it's like having a damn gremlin in the office, just constantly scaring you, constantly screwing with you, just sitting at work, trying to get your life together, and you got this kind of stuff happening.
to speak to Ellen on set.
Just people crawling around scaring each other.
They claim that employees are also expected to turn their backs to Ellen as she walks by, which to us sounds a little extreme and gossipy, but hey, it could be true. The source is directly quoted as saying, quote, "No one is allowed to engage Ellen in conversation or even look her in the eye. We get wanting to work on a big-time talk show.
I've heard some of this. Like I know Steve Harvey, I think, has one of those policies where you can't just like walk up and talk to him or whatever. And I kind of get that. If you're a talk show host, or you're the front person for this and you're talking all the time, or I mean, even I can speak for this just on stream, but like when I stream, and if I stream for 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, and I get off stream, the last thing I want to do is have some big conversation. I just talked for like 5 hours. So I get that if you're doing a talk show, or you're filming multiple shows, or you're doing whatever, and you don't want staff members or all that stuff to just randomly come up and talk to you, or randomly come up and engage you. I kind of get that, but I've also heard Ellen, is where people can't look at her, people can't wear certain clothes, people can't, do whatever. So you don't want, there's a fine line between like, hey, look, I'm trying to put on a show, I'm trying to get in the right mindset to do this. It's exhausting for me to do that, and I need time to recharge. I get all that. But then you don't want to merge it into, we're working in this toxic, tyrannical regime. You don't want to do that.
Oh, but that sounds like a pure nightmare. Number 2, the George W. Bush fiasco.
People were upset. They thought.
I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this was like the same time of the Dakota Johnson thing. Because I think I want to say that this is what Ellen was doing, like instead of the Dakota Johnson thing. I think she was in Dallas at the game.
Thought, why is a gay Hollywood liberal sitting next to a conservative Republican president? Didn't even notice I'm holding the brand new iPhone 11. And
Ellen found herself in a bit of trouble when she was caught attending a football game with
She's got that 3-camera iPhone 11. I got that 2-camera. So I only have the 2 cameras, and she's got all 3. So Ellen flexing all over me with that one.
George W. Bush. Some felt this betrayed Ellen's activism within the LGBTQ+ community, as W was opposed to same-sex marriage while in office.
And so I'm sitting in the Cowboys suite, the owner of the Cowboys, and secretly cheering every time the Packers scored, or every time another whistleblower came forward. And the referees, you guys, the referees.
Ellen's defense also garnered some criticism. She stated that she would be kind to everyone, regardless of their personal or political beliefs. This response led to accusations that Ellen was practicing clear class solidarity. That being kind trumped defending human rights, and that she was telling the discriminated to forgive and befriend their oppressors.
This just isn't two people who have difference of opinion.
I know.
People start bringing up things.
She doesn't care. I've already explained this. She doesn't care. She's in the suite. She doesn't care. Couldn't care less. Doesn't matter. Now, I've said this before. If a president invites you to do something, do it. If Bill Clinton, you don't like, and I've talked about it on this show a million times, or on this podcast, stream, whatever. If Bill Clinton called me and said, hey, you want to go play some golf? I'd go play golf with Bill Clinton.
It's like war criminal,
yes,
and
that seemed to be
stole
a big
the
issue.
election from Al Gore.
Right.
And
a satirical video about the situation, which her team fought to erase, certainly did not help matters. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Well, tell me what to do.
Number 1, she allegedly treats her staff like peasants.
And oh, here's my friend, Ron. How are you, Ron?
Game.
Whatever. Okay, so here we go.
We briefly touched on Ellen's alleged hostile working relationship with her staff, but it gets much, much worse. Not only does she allegedly disallow conversation, she allegedly treats staffers as peasants.
Yeah, I've heard like more of this stuff where they can't eat in certain things, they can't eat at certain times, they can't eat in certain areas, they can't, I have heard some of that. And when you lump that in with the Writers Guild, so you already know Ellen doesn't give a shit about the writers, doesn't care about all that stuff. She's unapproachable. She's selfish. So all that definitely lends to treating her staff poorly.
Aside from the no speaky thing, she apparently also doesn't brief her employees about the show, and we assume they're supposed to just go along with her plans. It's also reported that she has an enormous ego, flips out on people over the
Obviously, all of these people have huge egos.
Smallest things, and perhaps worst of all, generates discord within her staff by excluding certain people from events to create tension, jealousy, and hurt feelings. She sounds like a great boss.
It's like even when you're nice, you can't be nice.
Do you agree with our picks?
I think that one is more like, yeah, I'm sure. It's like I mean, that being number one, it's like I think this is the worst one. In my opinion, this was the worst thing she's done. This was a really eye-opening type thing, and she does this a lot, where she's just skewering her guest or whatever.